Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to cut and sew this circular backless dress. It's very beginner friendly and very quick, so if you're interested, make sure to watch till the end. Alright, let's get right into the video. So for this outfit, we're going to be using approximately 2.5 yards of fabric. And as you can see in the video, we're going to fold it just like that. The fabric is 45.5 inches long. So we're going to get half of our shoulder measurements. In this case, mine is 8 inches. And so I'm going to get 8 inches and place a tape measure just like this. And then we're going to make sure the distance from here to there and there to there is the same. So I'm just going to go ahead and mark the points. So in my case, the distance from there to there is 11 and also the other side is 11 inches. So we're going to join those 2 points, but instead of drawing a straight line, we're going to draw a slightly curved line, just like you see me doing the video. And that's to prevent a V shape when we open up the fabric. So yes, that's how the curve is going to look. So we're going to be adding 1.5 inches for our elastic band casing. You can mark it either below that line or above that line, depending on how many gathers you want. So I'm going to be going below just because I want more gathers. So I'm going to mark 1.5 inches below that slight curve. And then I'll just mark the points like that. So from the line below, we're going to then mark our full length. So my full length in this case is 33 inches and that includes the sewing allowance as well at the bottom. So we shall go ahead and mark it all the way around, just like you see me doing the video, and then we shall just join the points. In this clip, I've already finished doing that. The next thing is we're going to be working on our back piece. I'm just going to go ahead and first do the cutting so that you can easily understand what I'm doing. So after cutting it, that's what it's going to look like. That top part will be folded in because it's going to be for the elastic band casing. I'm just going to go ahead and leave it folded so that it's easier for you to understand. So we're going to determine how low we want our back to be. So I want mine to be at 13 inches. In case you want less of your back to show, you can always reduce the figure to 12 inches, 11 inches, 10 inches, and so on, depending on your preference. In my case, I'll be using 13. So I'll just go ahead and mark 13 inches just like that. And then I'll go above that line and add 1.5 inches, which is going to be for my elastic band casing. So I'm just going to go ahead and repeat that. So we shall go down by 13 inches. That's how low I want the back show to be. And then we shall go above that point by 1.5 inches. And that's for the elastic band casing, similar to the string casing at the top. So when we're cutting our back piece, it's going to be starting at that point. And so that's going to be 11.5. So we're going to move on to the next clip where we got another piece similar to the first one. And then we folded it just like that. So using the front pattern, we're just going to place it like that. And so after we've aligned the pieces properly, we're just going to go ahead and mark that upper point where the back is supposed to start at the 11.5 inch mark. Then we're going to go ahead and trace out the hem, just like you see me doing the video. After we're done with that, we shall then go back to that point that we had marked earlier, the 11.5 inch mark. And then we shall just go ahead and mark that and take off that top piece. So the next thing is we're going to measure that point from the top to that mark. That's 23.5 inches, and so we're just going to mark it all around to the other side. So after we've done that, we're then going to mark our 1.5 inch elastic band case just below that line. After we're done with that, we shall join the points. And now we're just going to go ahead and cut that out. And so that's how it's going to look. That's going to be our back piece. Next thing is we shall be folding in our elastic band casing. We shall first fold it by 0.5 and then we shall fold it again to form that casing. And then we shall just sew it down. Let me just go and do that and I'll be back. So as you can see, I've already finished doing that. Our casing has been created, and so we're going to get an elastic band that's 0.5 inches wide, and for the length we shall be dividing our waist by 3, so that's going to be 10 inches for me. You can always make the length even shorter for a tighter fit. So I'm just going to attach my safety pins and then I'm going to just insert it inside the casing. I'll go ahead and do that till it's out from the other side. As you can see at this point, it's out on both sides, so I'm just going to stitch it down on those ends. This is what it's looking like after we're done with that. So now we're going to get our front piece and then we're going to just place it like that. And then right sides facing each other, We're going to place the back piece on top of the front piece. Remember, it's right sides facing each other. And then from the bottom to that point, we're just going to pin it down, and then we shall be joining them by 1 inch of sewing allowance. After I'm done pinning it down on this side, I'm also going to move on to the other side, and then we're going to repeat the same process. We shall just be pinning it down from the bottom to that point where the elastic band stops. So I'm just going to go ahead and sew it down by 1 inch of sewing allowance. At this point, I'm already done with that. As you can see, both sides have been attached. So the next thing is we're going to get the front piece. At the top there, we're going to fold it in twice towards the wrong side, just like you see me doing the video. And this is mainly to just make sure it's looking neat and that the raw edges are covered. So using that 1 inch allowance, we shall just be folding it in like that, and then we shall stitch it down. So as you can see, I'm already done with that. I've done that on both sides. So I did the hemming till I reached about 0.5 inches below that elastic band. Make sure you're folding it to the wrong side of the fabric. So the next thing is we're going to be folding in our elastic band casing at the top, and then we're going to be folding it by 1.5 inches, just like we did for the back. So as you can see, we've already finished doing that. So now we're going to work on the strap. We shall be cutting out a piece that's 1.5 inches wide and 90 inches long. We shall just fold it as you're seeing in the video at the top and then the sides, and then we shall be stitching it down just like that all the way around. Okay, at this point, I've already finished doing that. The next thing is we shall be using a safety pin, and then we shall be inserting this string at the top through the casing. This time around, of course, we're using a string instead of an elastic band. So that's basically it for this part. We shall then just tie the string and then form the gathers. The last thing we shall be doing is we shall be overlocking those raw edges on both the sides, just like that. And also we shall be going to the bottom of the hem, and then we shall be folding it in twice, and then we shall be hemming it all around. So as you can see in this clip, I've already finished overlocking the raw edges, and then I also hemmed it at the bottom. And so this is basically it, guys. If the video was helpful, make sure to leave a like and a comment. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. And also don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're interested in such videos. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video.